All right. Last thing I got, the news that broke the internet. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Doctor Doom in the Fantastic Four and Avengers Doomsday.
I'm so happy. I'm so
Okay, so you like this news?
I'm
Okay.
so happy. And let me tell you why. All right?
Mhm.
I see people shitting on this.
Based.
And I don't get it. I don't get
Mhm.
it. Because what we have here is a multiverse version of this, right? So they're going to do the same thing they did with Mr. Fantastic in Doctor Strange 2. We get a casting that we want, right? Everybody wanted that Tony Stark to come back. So what's going to happen is they're going to follow that comic line of Tony goes bad and becomes Victor Von Doom in another world. Later down the line, we are going to get the actual Doom in here. Like we got our actual Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four. We already got that. What I like about this is we knew that Tony was going to come back at some point. It that was written in the sand. It was already written in stone in his contract. He's coming back at some point. I like this because it's not just, oh, hey, everybody, I'm back in, say, the very last fight in Secret Wars, and then he's a ruined cameo. We get to build this character up, see what his powers are. We get to know his character at the end of probably Fantastic Four. I think in a post-credit scene is where he's going to show up and do like the Thanos thing. I like that because with this, we get to see the character, see him build, and we build a better villain than Kang was. With Robert Downey Jr., if the story is bad, which with the screenwriter, it is not going to be. I mean, with all he's written for the MCU, he hasn't written a bad script. I think this works. I get why people are upset, yes. But for me, I think that with $30 billion, with the writer of Infinity War, Endgame, and I think all three of the Captain America movies, I think we need to trust these guys now. Because they are trying to build the MCU back up to what it was. And the way to do that is with a powerhouse actor to play your biggest villain in your biggest movies since Endgame. I think that's why this news hit me more, but also because I grew up with him as basically a ruined actor. With this, everybody thought Iron Man's gone. With Robert Downey Jr. winning the Oscar for Oppenheimer, everybody thought the chances of him coming back to the MCU is done. He's only going to be doing these award-worthy stuff, like the HBO show, that he is going to get plenty of love for. This works for me, and I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody else thinks, and I'm happy to be in the mid-range. Some people love it. Some people absolutely hate this news. What does everybody else think about this news?
Personally, I'm not a fan. I don't like it because we've had multiple attempts at bringing Doctor Doom to the screen, and they haven't gotten him right yet. Now, the same day we got this news, we found out that the Penguin is going to be a woman on the new animated series Batman Cape Crusader. And I heard some people complaining about that. And my argument was we've had multiple Penguins, and they've all been good. Going back to the 60s with Burgess Meredith, that was good for the time. Batman the Animated Series gave us a good Penguin. Danny DeVito was a good Penguin. We had the TV show Gotham. A lot of people liked the guy who played the Penguin on that show. And we got Colin Farrell getting his own show. And they said we've had multiple versions of the Penguin. And mostly they've all gotten him right on some level. Nobody has gotten Doctor Doom right yet. And before we fiddle with Doctor Doom and start doing multiverse versions, I just want to see somebody get him right once. And we haven't had that yet. And my fear is if this is just Tony Stark from the multiverse, then you've actually kind of robbed us of Doctor Doom just to give us another Tony Stark, who's a different character. Can it work? Yeah, it could work. With a good script, anything could work. But I'm still disappointed we're not going to get now. Like you said, you think the real Doctor Doom is going to come later. If something like that happens, I'd be okay with it. I'd even be okay with it if this is a case of same actor, different character. Like if we find out this is not a variant of Tony Stark, this is just a guy who happens to look like Tony Stark by some weird chance, like how, go back to Kevin Smith. You watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, you'll see Jason Lee show up twice in that movie, first as Brody and later as Banky, and it's the same actor playing two completely different roles. If we got something like that where it's like we just I don't know. We're going to see how it turns out. Like you said, these are good writers. These are good directors. I'm sure they're not going to embarrass themselves. Like I'm sure this is going to be fine, but it does feel like we're running a risk that we're wasting one of the prime villains in the MCU.
What I think is going to happen here.
I gotta go, so I'm just gonna put my 2 cents in super quick because I think you guys both made really good points. I kind of agree with Noah that like the writers have a good track record, but also with the point that RDJ doesn't have to do this, so and he certainly doesn't need the money. So I think they've got something good up their sleeves potentially, that will reveal itself.
Based.
But yeah, that's kind of where I am on it.
By the way, have you guys seen the teaser trailer for Fantastic Four?
Yes.
No.
It wasn't officially released. A friend of ours sent it to me. It was like it's shaky cam footage that someone took in the room at Hall H. Dan, I got to send it to you. The movie looks amazing. It looks amazing.
All right.
Really
well, have a good night, gentlemen.
Thanks for joining us, Dan.
Thank you,
Always
Dan.
good to have you here.
Good night.
Fun talk.
Night.
Yeah, I'm super excited. There's a certain thing that Robert Downey Jr. said that tells me they're already looking at this in a very awesome way, which is, what can I say? I like playing complicated characters.
Yeah.
And while some people could look at it as desperation, you could also look at it as appreciation of Robert Downey Jr. going out there after the MCU, not quite getting the hits that he rightly deserves. Even literally saying in his Oscar speech, I'd like to thank Nolan. I needed this way more than he needed me. Where it's like, it felt like, he's not doing so hot. And it's like, to go back and to do a villain as awesome as Doctor Doom, especially specifically for that Secret War story, it's like, we're not going to just see a bad Tony Stark. We're going to see a whole new character.
Mm-hmm.
This is a rejuvenate, like it's a Robert Downey Jr. with a new energy. I think he's coming at this with a new energy, a new appreciation for what MCU's doing. And I think at the same time, he's going to be allowed to play with this amazing character. Look what he did with what was a C-list character of Iron Man. I think he's in a way earned almost like as a thank you. Here's an A-list. Go have fun, man. Like, I think that's awesome. Whether or not, I don't even care if it's the real Doctor Doom or not. I'm just excited to see what he's going to do with the Doctor Doom character, especially even after Oppenheimer, like where he's already technically warming up to play a villainous role. Like, I don't know. I'm really excited about this.
Ron said Burgess Meredith had to create his Penguin from scratch. Nobody before him. He was really, I don't know what EBN stands for, but yeah, no. Martin Rodriguez wants to know why there's a dinosaur talking.
Hey, I've heard that right.
Are you telling me you have not heard the leak from the new Jurassic World movie? He's the writer here.
Yeah, I'm the writer.
He has the right
to
be a part of it, and he's the main dinosaur that's going to end up chasing all of ScarJo.
I've got my notebook right here.
Dude, we started opening doors in 1993. Okay.
Big movie perp is on my.
Hey, that's the goal, man. That's what I look at every time I work out.
Oh, that's his dad.
Skullman says that Joey G. Levitt was the hero. That's what his friends call him. I don't know if you know that. Joey G. Levitt. I imagine. It was the hero in 500 Days of
Don
Summer.
Juan, that's what I
Summer
call him.
was the villain. I agree with that.
But Autumn saved him. That movie is one of the best movies ever released. It's a realistic look at a romance, and it gets no love.
I like that movie.
Hollywood loved it.
I
gave
love
Mark Webb Spider-Man, and then they gave him Snow White.
It was the best movie Mark
Hollywood
Webb
loves that
ever
guy.
made. So
Hollywood loved that movie.
wait, is Mark Webb directing the new Snow White? The one with
Yep.
Oh man, I was
Rachel.
looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Serves you right, Big Woke Joe.
Yeah, no, I hey, look, I love Rachel Zegler. She was fantastic in Shazam too. Just saying.
And I mean, is she wrong though?
No,
Is she wrong with what she said?
Nothing she said. To take it from Big Woke Joe, nothing she said was wrong.
This is also really random because I just remember this now. I saw the Lion King trailer, the new one, Mufasa, in 3D when I saw Deadpool. I don't know if you guys got to see it.
Yep.
Like when I saw the trailer on the computer, I wasn't like digging the effects, but in 3D, I was like, holy crap, this looks amazing. It looks totally different in 3D. Yeah. The Mufasa
my worry with it is it's going to be the same thing as the Lion King, where the visual effects are going to be amazing.
Sure.
But when I saw that 2019 live action remake in theaters, the first 5 minutes, The Circle of Life, I was bawling because it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It hit me. And then as soon as they spoke, I went, why are they not showing emotion?
I think Barry Jenkins got this.
I trust him a lot more than John Favreau.
And I think that was the general consensus. So I think they're looking at that specifically. I did see an improvement in the facial animation stuff. I'm actually really excited to see that movie now because of the 3D.
And Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote the songs, I have full faith in him. Full faith.
He did the new Little Mermaid ones?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I like those.
I gotta say this. Shiny.
That was Moana. Yeah.
Moana. Yeah.
Yep.
That was not his best work. And Scuttlebutt, that got a lot of hate.
I like it.
It was a comedy song.
It's a little rap song. Whatever.
But for Awkwafina, what do you expect her to do?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. I think there's a law. I don't know if
I think everyone is.
I think there's a law that says that if you're making an animated movie, you're required to hire Awkwafina to do one of the voices.
Yep.
So, because she's in everything now. Before we move on, I just want to say I have a couple concerns about Dr. Doom in general. I don't like the idea that they had a plan, and the plan was the Kang dynasty. They were going to do Kang. And I don't like that they're backing away from that plan and scrapping it and coming up with something new. Generally speaking, whenever you have an outline and a plan and then just suddenly go crumble, it usually doesn't turn out well. Rise of Skywalker is a good example. We had 2/3 of a trilogy, and then suddenly we got this jarring, Palpatine's back, and nobody really liked Rise of Skywalker. I know JJ, you're a fan. I like it. I like it better than the prequels, but JJ Abrams, always says there was no plan. That's not true. The plan's right here. Duel of the Fates by Colin Trevorrow. This was the planned episode 9. It got tossed. I feel like this provided a more satisfying conclusion. Another one I always go back to is there was a famous comic book miniseries from the 90s called Armageddon 2001. And in the series, one of the superheroes, one of the DC heroes, a time traveler from the future came back and said, one of your heroes is going to become a villain named Monarch and take over the world in the year 01. And I've come back to stop it, and I have to figure out which of the heroes is going to go bad. And he spends like all summer traveling through the different comic books and touching people to see what their future is going to be. If he touches you, he can see 10 years into your future. And it was going to be revealed in the final issue, and the whole series was leading up to this, that it was Captain Atom. Captain Atom became Monarch. It leaked. People found out who Monarch was going to be. Everyone knew it was Captain Atom. DC panicked, and at the last minute they changed it to Hawk from Hawk and Dove. The story didn't make sense. Hawk he's not as powerful of a character as Captain Atom, so you're like, really, Hawk is the guy who like takes over the world? The story bombed out, and it was because they at the last minute pivoted from the plan. And my concern is, I know Jonathan Majors, they had to get rid of him. I get it. I really feel they should have taken the Don Cheadle approach. When they got rid of Terrence Howard, they brought in Don Cheadle, just recast the role, because I'm not saying it can't work. I'm not saying Doomsday can't work, but I don't like the idea that you were on a path, you had a plan, and you suddenly just scrapped everything and did a page one rewrite, because I don't think that usually works out.
What I think is why they did that is because for a lot of people, Kang was not working. You've already killed him in Ant-Man 3. And since he can be killed multiple times, I don't think they want that with their villains. But why I think that this will work a lot better is because we have Bob Iger back, who knows how to do a plan and knows how to do this, because he leaned into the first 25 films.
I'm going to throw something that just occurred to me out there. Do you remember several years ago at Comic-Con when they revealed that the next Captain America movie was going to be called Captain America: The Serpent Society? Mm-hmm. And then they were like, oh, no, wait, that's not the title. Civil War. And everyone went crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think the plan was to pivot from Kang to Doctor Doom all along, and they were just trying to save the surprise?
No. I have to say this. I think this is a good way to go into it. Dude, but I think this was also
I gotta go off on Cheeseman when you're done. Sorry, Noah.
Yeah.
They never gave. Dude, he got Loki season 2. He got all of Loki season 2. He got he got more than a movie. He got more than 2 hours and 30 minutes. He got a whole season.
But to be fair,
I turned it off because of him.
But you know what? I didn't care for Loki season 2 either.
His performance was absolutely excruciating to me.
But here's the thing. I agree with you. Perp, I agree with you. I agree with you. Like I didn't like Loki season 2 either. But I think we were in the minority because I kept hearing people praising Loki season 2. People kept going, MCU's back. This is it. This proves the...
No, because if it's true, then they wouldn't have said this anymore. No one brings it up anymore. We were right. No one brings it up anymore.
But here's the thing. Whenever anybody goes,
Reggie said he still hasn't recovered from the recasting of Darren Stevens on Bewitched.
What happens is every single great thing that the MCU does, Marvel's back. Anything that anybody doesn't like, it sucks. It's back, it sucks. It's back, it sucks. It's what's going to happen. But for like 15 plus years, we got a solid, I'm sorry, 10 to 11 years. It's consistently up. And every once in a while, we got a downturn with a Thor 2, an Iron Man 2. Every once in a while, a bit of a downslope with Marvel, with Kevin Feige having full control and not shoving all these shows in and all these other films in. I think they can form a plan a lot better with less characters. With the Thunderbolts, we're not going to get anything. I think we wait for Doom until the Fantastic Four film, until the very end, and then you build throughout that. So I think they have time.
You don't think we're going to get anything in Thunderbolts, considering they just announced Robert Downey Jr. this year?
Since it's
I think
wrapped,
they could even introduce.
I don't think he's going to make an appearance in that.
No, he's not. He's not. No, he's not.
I think that I think with Captain America and Thunderbolts, the big selling point is going to be Red Hulk.
Yeah.
Captain America, that trailer just doesn't do it for me at all. At all.
I love that one line. You no.
I feel like they're
what is
doing
it?
Civil War again in a way. It's like,
It's
can I call upon you? What if I don't agree with you? Uh-oh. Fight.
Oh. You might be the Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I
You're right.
love
That's a good
that
one.
line. I
And then he
trust
says,
them now.
you're right, I'm not. Boom. Hit him right back at him with that same energy.
I trust them, but I will be the one person. If it doesn't work, if it feels forced, I will be the first person to go, I was wrong. I see where everybody was coming from. But I think with what they're going for, I don't think he'd come back if they didn't have a good story for him. I don't think he'd come back.
I do have a lot of faith.
He's totally going to take out Kang, by the way. That's how they up his XP in the movie. That's how you make him a bigger threat. Okay,
my one
you have Doom take Kang
concern.
out.
My one concern, and I said this on Max's stream yesterday, is I just hope we don't get a completely lame ending where it's a Tony variant and the characters have like a heart to heart with him. Like
He hugs Peter.
Like we knew a variant of you, and he was a hero, and he saved the world, and then like I just don't want to get like a lame ending where suddenly whatever the big conflict is at the end of Secret Wars, suddenly Doctor Doom flips and becomes the good guy and saves the day and goes, I am Iron Man. Like that would be the lamest.
They're not going to do that.
I hope you're right.
No.
I hope you're right.
You know they're going to add a joke right before that happens where he's about to turn in and Hulk punches him. Ha 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 ha.
Skullman, I've read several of your comments. You keep saying that. I've read several.
Skullman wants more
comments.
attention, and you should give it to him.
What did I miss? Lou Bloom is the hero of Nightcrawler. His partner was the villain.
Cool.
I don't know what that means. I don't.
It means exactly that. Lou Bloom is the hero of Nightcrawler.
Is Nightcrawler a movie? Like
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen Nightcrawler. I saw Nightcrawler. I'm thinking
steady
that's why he's not reading your comments.
Steady hands. Steady hands. It's Jake Gyllenhaal is a killer.
Okay.
No, he's is he a killer? No, Nightcrawler. He's a reporter. He's a reporter.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry.
He gets he's like one of those sleazy reporters that goes after like murders and stuff, and he just like the whole movie's about him being really unethical.
Oh yeah. That movie went out of my brain. Out of my brain. For this,
I thought he was talking about Nightcrawler, the X-Men. Like everyone's lost.
Yeah,
that's what I thought too. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I was like, what?
There's only
everyone's
two
lost
stories.
here.
Two other stories that the MCU could do that could be a bigger threat than Doom in my eyes.
Galactus.
Yep, but also World War Hulk. It would take a long time to get to World War Hulk. You take everything away from him, and how you do that is you kill his son, you kill She-Hulk.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, she lives.
I can't.
She won't.
Condone the killing of
We need to get her together with Deadpool as soon as possible, please.
I agree. I would love to see that.
But that's how you get to World War Hulk, because he's more unstoppable than almost anybody besides Galactus. Those are the only two people that are a bigger threat than any version of Doom, any version of Victor Von Doom. But I don't think.
I don't. Victor Von Doom for me was never about being a threat, even though he is. To me, what I loved in Secret War was how he was just like, screw the villains and screw the heroes. I'm doing my own thing. They don't understand me. He's like, that is just so fascinating to me that he doesn't want to be in either side. And he kind of like, I don't know. I think that's what is going to make this tick for Robert Downey Jr. because he complains a lot. He's very like egotistical.
Yeah, yes.
Like they're gonna like kind of modernize that, you know, I'm assuming, and just that within itself is like, okay, how's Robert Downey? Like, this might be like they're going for another award type of character, you know, like don't like he just got one, and he's the next big thing is with MCU. They might be going for that, like it's a character worthy of that if done correctly, especially with the way I've seen the translation so far with the little Marvel knowledge I have, and the way it's translated or modernized for film. It's been like very clever and done pretty well for the most part. So I can imagine, like, you know, because Marvel is like, they're also like not just about making money, but like they're in the game in terms of getting nominations now. Like they're trying to make the best movie possible. They got Black Panther got nominated for Best Picture and a bunch of and is winning awards in terms of their technical aspects, from costumes to music. Like they're the big leagues. And I think Downey Jr. with his power and their resources, I think they're going to create something special. I really do, especially with Secret War.